What's up, YouTube? Iron Man here. Are you doing another episode of Iron Man Wii News? Yes, Hulk, why? I'm so excited! Wow, I never heard you say that before. Yeah, well, I just changed my ways. Really? No, I'm just kidding. I'm bored. Oh. Anyways, I love science. Who doesn't? And because of that, let's take a look at science and health. No, not technology. Science and health. Ooh. Space Shuttle Endeavour closes in on space station. Whoa. Cape Canaveral, FLA, I guess. Space Shuttle Endeavour is closing in on the International Space Station following a 2-day chase. Wow. Before docking at the space station Friday afternoon, the Endeavour will perform a backflip so the station crew can photograph its entire surface. NASA wants to see whether the shuttle suffered any significant launch damage. An unusually large amount of foam insulation peeled away from a fuel tank during Wednesday's liftoff. Endeavour's thermal tiles were dinged in several places by foam, but that damage is considered minor. The shuttle and its 7 astronauts are delivering the last of Japan's space station lab, a porch for experiments. Endeavour will remain at the space station for 1.5 weeks. Wow. Oh man, this one ought to be interesting. This one should be pretty crucial because the swine flu is spreading around. UN Health Agency gives up on counting swine flu. London. The World Health Organization says it will stop counting individual cases of swine flu. Why would it do that? Tracking individual swine flu cases is too overwhelming for countries where the virus is spreading widely, the agency says in a statement. HWO will no longer issue global totals of swine flu cases, although it will continue to track the global epidemic. WHO says countries should look for signs the virus is mutating, such as changes in the way the swine flu is spreading, surges in hospital visits, or more severe cases. Did somebody die from swine flu and it was only like 22 or something? Yeah, that was serious. It's spreading here too. Actually, Batman, it's spreading in Sarasota. We're in Pinellas Park. Oh, okay, then we should be safe for now. The agency asks countries to report their first confirmed cases, then provide weekly cases numbers with a description of their outbreaks. The WHO reported nearly 95,000 cases, including 429 deaths worldwide, but the numbers are outdated, with the Britain estimating it had 55,000 new cases last week alone. Oh man, that's just awful. How are we going to do this, guys? What article should we read next? Hey. We need to talk about the swine flu. This is really serious. Oh man, this one is just awful. London, an ugly scramble is brewing over the swine flu vaccine, and when it becomes available, Britain, the United States, and other nations could find that the contracts they signed with pharmaceutical companies are easily broken. Oops. Experts warn now that during a global epidemic, which the world is in now, governments may be under tremendous pressure to protect their own citizens first before allowing companies to ship doses of vaccine out of the country. That does not bode well for many nations, including the United States, which makes only 20% of regular flu vaccines it uses, or Britain, where all of the flu vaccines are produced abroad. This isn't rocket science, said Michael Osterholm, director of the Center for Infectious Diseases Research and Policy at the University of Minnesota. If there is severe disease, countries will want to hang on to the vaccine for their own citizens. Experts say politicians would not be able to withstand the pressure. The consequences of shipping vaccine to another country when your own people don't have it would be devastating, said David Fetson, a retired vaccine industry executive. About 70% of the world's existing flu vaccines are made in Europe, and only a handful of countries are self-sufficient in vaccines. The U.S. has limited swine flu vaccine facilities, and because factories can't be built overnight, there's no quick fix to boost vaccine supplies. Earlier this week, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it was spending $884 million. Whoa, that's a lot. Yeah, tell you about it. To buy extra supplies of 2 key ingredients for a swine flu vaccine. The United States has contracts to get swine flu vaccines from Sanofi Pasteur, Medium GlaxoSmithKline, and Novartis. Sanofi Pasteur and Medimuni both have vaccine plants in the U.S., while GlaxoSmithKline and Novartis have plants in Europe. Even if the U.S. held on to all the swine flu vaccine product produced domestically, it would not be enough for all Americans. About 80 million Americans are vaccinated against the seasonal flu every year. In 2004, when prevalence in the U.S.'s flu vaccine supply of British factory hit, there were less than 54 million shots available. Flu vaccines were saved for those who in high-risk groups like the elderly and pregnant women, and officials asked other people to simply forego their usual flu shot. If there are limited swine flus during a pandemic that turns out more serious, experts are not sure will people will be able to get as willing to get a vaccine. Wow, this is all like serious. I mean, like, how does the swine flu keep on happening? So I guess we'll be starting off now. Based on all those articles, I think people should start like washing their hands before every meal, and like washing their hands all the time just to stay clean and away from the swine flu. So I'm gonna be signing off now.